All right.
23rd.
Welcome to the Oakdale Park and Recs meeting, commission meeting on September 21st. Call the order, and then we'll do a roll call, and I believe Freddie is the only one that we're missing tonight. He's out on the football field. Everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everyone get a chance to look over the minutes from our last meeting in August?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments? Need a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those are approved. Mr. Councilmember Engelbert.
Am I supposed to state my name and address? No.
Yes, please.
Just want to say thank you for participating in the survey, except for Jenny. I didn't mean to call you out. Going to be very helpful for us going forward. And I think, didn't we talk about that too when all the commissions met at Discovery Center? I think I brought that up, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be really helpful to make some decisions in if we find some additional funds or, anything else comes up. It's going to be very helpful to us. So thanks for doing it. Much appreciated. Any questions?
no?
I have a comment.
Sure.
I thought the park tour went well, and I was glad that you were able to attend that to
Yeah, I am
kind
too.
of see what our response is when we meet up with people, like in the skate park and
Yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
I just think it helps us know what's
yeah,
going on and that we're aware of.
yeah. And my big takeaway from that was,
Pickleball.
well, pickleball. I'd played pickleball before. I know it's fun. But just how nuanced the maintenance is in these parks, like you had pointed out, Paul, along the sidewalks,
Erosions,
the ankle
yeah.
turns and cracks. I mean, I was shocked when I saw that skate park, and it really, it's just so tough. I wish the Oakdale tree. I wish money grew on that. Make life so much easier, but definitely I didn't realize, just how, all the little things that can creep up on us. And
That's right, when we were talking, it's the maintenance side of it. If you just do a little bit at a time, you don't lose control of it to
Yeah.
where now it's a large dollar value to go
Yeah.
out and repair those things.
Yeah.
And I get it, being short-staffed and stuff the last few years, but
yeah.
staying on top of it's the big one.
Well, and I agree. And it isn't going to get any easier, neither.
No, but I thought it was really helpful for us to do the tour right before we did the survey.
Right.
Because
Oh,
then
yeah.
it really brought things into like, okay, now I can,
I agree.
Yep, helps you articulate. I think that's it. The one issue I was going to bring up, I think there's actually going to be some discussion about tonight, which is the electrical in the ball fields 5 through 8 here at Walton. I had actually talked to the city administrator today, and she said, talk to Brian, and I took a look at the agenda too, and noticed that was on the survey, so.
It is on there, and I'm assuming it's going to be, did we get a bid on that? Not to jump forward here, but
Yep,
but
okay.
it's, otherwise, and it's kind of selfish for OAA, but we'd have to look at, purchasing generators if we don't move forward for 2022,
Yeah.
that, to get the younger kids out there to play, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to figure out. But my fear on that is you have a running motor out there with a muffler that you have little kids at,
Yeah.
'cause at that age, it's the second, third, and fourth grade kids,
Yeah,
so.
and I don't think selfish is a good word to use. I mean, their athletic fields, OAA is going to use,
Right.
I don't think, I don't view it that way at all. It's just, it's just so tough. We got to pick and choose,
Yeah.
but I think that's definitely a priority. I mean, I kind of made the point, we're in 2021, not 1981,
Right, it's, you know, it's a big ticket, and I think next year we'll be ahead of the game of trying to make sure that we get everything in line prior to the season, where we really didn't even find out till it was too late,
Yeah,
you know, and to react that fast, it's impossible, so.
yep. Nope, so thanks again for doing the survey, guys, and Jenny, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have singled you out. But no, appreciate it, and looking forward to hearing discussion, so.
Awesome, thanks, Jake.
Thanks.
Then we go to Mr. BACHMEIER.
Good evening, Parks Commission members. Continuing our discussion on the Park CIP, Capital Improvement Program Planning. Just an update on projects. The one project that we talked about at the last meeting was the resurfacing of the Guthrie Park basketball court. That was paved a week ago Saturday, and we backfilled around the court to kind of get the grass to grow, to stabilize. It's ideal time to be seeding. So we're hoping to see some grass pop up there, and then we're going to schedule the striping and get the backstops back installed. So I would say by first part of October, we should pretty much be done with that project. So we did get that completed. The one other capital project that I'm really can't report too much on is the remodeling of the Walton Park kitchens. With the superintendent Kuzling being out, it's been difficult to kind of address all the projects, but that is still on our list to try to get completed this fall before it gets too late. It's my hope that he will be back in the office here within the next week or so, so we'll be able to kind of follow up and get some things completed. So just a report on those two projects. Moving on to the kind of the subject at hand, since our last meeting, we had requested kind of individual rankings of the projects we've discussed in the past, and also an opportunity for the commission members to provide some new projects that they want us to consider going forward. So we did get the results of the surveys that were returned, and I summarized in this memo. And the one thing that really does become quite apparent when you start looking at the new projects is there is a lot of support for volleyball courts and pickleball courts. So that is certainly something we're going to have to look at, having that discussion with our city council on providing funding for those type of projects in the parks. I don't know if they're just a quick introduction of how we did the rankings. We asked everybody to rank the projects, starting with their preferred project as number one and going down as low as whatever number they could fill in the blanks for. And then what we did is we tallied them across and then tried to rank them that way. We also took a look at the ranking by total and the ranking by median. So to kind of get a sense if one person votes a 9 and one person votes a 1, obviously there's quite a swing there. But hopefully the balance of the group rankings will kind of smooth out those differences. But I don't know if there were any surprises when you look through the list, but it was interesting to see that support for volleyball courts in Eastside Park, Northdale Park, pickleball in Eberly Park, volleyball in Guthrie. Community garden was the fifth priority by total. Again, back to volleyball courts, some acquisition for the Brockman property, which is next to the Bethke Park, and then again, more pickleball courts are listed at Gulfview Park. The tennis court practice wall at Eastside Park was listed as the 7th priority. And then additional passages of Oakdale was kind of the last priority. So those were the projects that we had listed and ranked by the commission. Was there any surprises or any other discussion that the commission would like to have regarding those projects before we take a look at some of the new projects that were suggested? Any surprises, any comments?
I'm not surprised at all.
Okay,
It's
good. I'm glad
kind
it's
of went the way I thought it was somewhat going to go, so.
all right, good. Well, that gives us some assurance that we can continue working on the CIP with these projects that we've kind of identified here. Now, as it relates to the new projects that were identified, one interesting one was to talk about, look at Horseshoe Park and converting some of the lanes into cornhole game, the cornhole game that you see is quite common and popular. And I have not seen that in other public parks, but if somebody has seen those in other parks, by all means, let me know, and we can certainly look at
The
what those
main one that I
communities
saw was at the University of Wisconsin in River Falls when my
Okay.
son was going there. They had these big, and they were concrete,
do. Okay,
and they're pretty slick out there. So, you know, they're not going to get ripped off. You're pretty hard to damage them. And, you know, you just build some forms, pour the concrete. You know, you have to go down so it sits on some little footings or so, and just go from there. And then they're there, and they can. The upkeep isn't as much as a horseshoe pit. You don't have to put more sand in and into that. And it seems that it's kind of the way of the horseshoes of the future, or the horseshoes of now, basically. So
You know,
Yeah, I
looking at all the lanes that were down there, I think only maybe 4 were being used out of all of those.
Yeah,
down there.
those middle two didn't look used much at
Used at all?
all. They were all grown over and,
okay,
But you do see where there's some heavy use
Yeah.
on a few of them.
some of the outer ones,
Yeah.
okay.
You don't see much, I don't see much use by young people of playing horseshoes. And with the cornhole, at least, if you can have a family thing where the people want to play, they can do either. And I think, again, just get more use, as they said, that there's obviously several of these, number of the lanes there's so much grass growing in them, it's just, they haven't been
used.
being used.
Okay. So repurposing the lanes down there. I'll take a look and see if I can get some details on the University of Wisconsin. Is that what you were saying?
yeah,
I was
that River
concerned
Falls
about
there, yeah.
product, how they were constructed. And then, you know, the other thing I was thinking about are critters or whatever. Do they, you know, is it something? you have
Nest
to-
in there.
Yeah, have to
Yeah,
kind
you
of keep
never know.
track of that
Yep,
as well.
yep.
So we'll do some research on that, but I appreciate that information.
Yeah,
Another
I thought
sug-
it was a great idea for something up and
Yeah.
coming and different for,
Absolutely.
you know, I just, I
Okay.
think it was your original idea, right,
No.
Steve? Oh,
It was Mark.
I
Mark.
put it on there.
Yep,
oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just,
Mark brought that up.
once you said that, it was just like, wow,
Yeah.
that makes
That was
sense.
pretty good.
Okay, we will do some more research on that. A couple of the other suggestions dealt with the Brockman property and pickleball, volleyball, and then Willowbrook, trying to keep that in mind as we're dealing with master planning and of those new park areas. And then the final one was to stripe all existing tennis courts for pickleball. So we
Can-
will
Can we
consider
back
that
up
as well.
to the Brockman property?
Yes,
Because I was out there and, you know, if we did acquire that, and I know that's a question mark when, you know,
right,
if we could. But there is plenty of room for parking, and then, you know, there is that parking lot, it's just gravelly, but it's flat, and it would make a nice pickleball court, or two, or I don't know how many would fit in there, but also volleyball could go in there as well. And it would just be
right,
great, because then you could still have parking there, right there,
right,
you know?
right,
You wouldn't have to park on the street.
right. So there's some real opportunities, combining all that, bringing it all together.
Yeah.
Providing a nice neighborhood amenity in that area. Then moving on to the, kind of the maintenance or replacement projects. Again, the projects were ranked, and the top priority was the rewiring of the ball fields 5 through 8. So,
Brian, can I back up?
yes,
into,
absolutely.
Like Willowbrook, pickleball, volleyball, and I was just gonna suggest, if people wanted to see a really good pickleball court, off of Inwood, there's a new subdivision, just south of 10th. But anyways, they put in a pickleball court. There's just 2 of them. It's called Ivywood, I think. But they've got the color-coded striping, the asphalt or the play area is done really well, so you know where the lines are, you know the kitchen part, if you know pickleball. It would be really good to go out and view that. If you see that, you'd see what a nice pickleball court that could be, and it's new, so It would just give us some great ideas. I don't know what it costs. I know nothing other than just viewing it.
Okay.
So,
Is that just east of Inwood Avenue, south of 10th?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you were out there. Glenn.
Yeah, kind of where the road for the new Quick Trip is.
Sure.
Yeah, just back there,
Back in there.
about maybe half a mile at the very most, and
Okay.
you can see it off to the left.
All right. Okay. Sounds like a nice field trip. We'll go check it out.
It's not too far away.
All right. We'll get a passport to go into the next community. Yeah, moving on to the maintenance and replacement projects, as mentioned, the Walton Park, the ball field rewiring was the #1 priority. And then also Guthrie Park re-roofing was 2. We have listed the Walton Skate Park resurfacing, and obviously, as we've identified, it has been commented before that resurfacing or repair or replacement of the ramps obviously is probably a better approach or a better investment. So that's certainly just an investment in the skate park is maybe we should term it instead of resurfacing. So that was ranked #3. And then the Oakdale Park Trail repaving. We did that one section this year, but there's still 3 more sections, so that's still a priority for the commission as a maintenance project. And then the Walton Ballfield Lighting LED was #5, so that seems to be moving down the priority list a little bit, which we understand. And then Eberly Park Lot and Trail paving, those are always challenging when you do parking lot repairs and trail paving compared to the other park amenities. So
But
I can understand that as well.
I have a question about that.
Yep.
So, being that that's already on the maintenance, if we did choose to do the Eberly Park for pickleball courts, could that maybe be done? I don't know if that would make sense to move that into the same year so that it would all be done together?
That makes complete sense.
Okay,
Real opportunity to get scale, economies of scale, especially if you're working with similar products, concrete and paving. So,
okay.
And that's forecasted for 2024.
yeah, in our
Currently.
current, yeah,
Yes.
CIP. So, again, we'll look at that. The other thing I was going to mention and has come up from a couple of the council members is our tot lots. We need to start considering those tot lots as well. And currently, the oldest tot lot we have is at Tanner's Park. It was installed in 1995. So generally, we see about 30 years of playground equipment, I should say, instead of tot lots, but playground equipment. Generally, parts are readily available, up until they get to be 30 or plus years, and then it becomes difficult to find replacement parts. So at some point, we're going to have to start including the replacement of playgrounds. So if we go 30 years from when Tanner's went in, it would be 2025. So we need to start considering that. Tilson was in 1998. Eberly was also in 1998. We've got Northdale in 1999, Guthrie in 99, Tower in 99, Gulfview in 2002. So we're going to start including those in the CIP as well for replacements later on. Not for next year, but certainly subsequent years after that. We'll start identifying those. Keep
Did
those in
look
mind
at
as well.
some of them as the parks that we went to, like Guthrie, we did walk over and look at the equipment, and for the most part, it looked pretty good. There's one little spot where it was peeling some of the paint or
Yeah.
the protection, but that's about it on the steps. Looked good.
There's some that don't take a lot of abuse, so it's a matter of, if they weather out but other ones obviously get heavier use and so, or more susceptible to vandalism. Walton seems to be one that gets targeted quite a bit, so we've had to do some replacement parts there, so that becomes more of an issue.
Can I make another comment?
Yes,
On
yes.
all this, because in trying to do the survey, I was trying to go out to a lot of these parks, either through a park tour or on my own. And when I got to Oakfield Park, I was with a friend who lives in that neighborhood, and people reached out to her saying, and she said, we were just looking, for possible locations for pickleball, volleyball. that neighborhood didn't seem real receptive to either of those, but there was comments from them about the tot lot that used to be there was taken out,
Right,
and they were kind of not only asking why, but could, because there's some daycare places in some of those homes, and they were asking, you know, is it possible to put I know there's a park with, you know, some sliding boards and stuff.
right.
But they were also asking for smaller kids, kind of.
Mhm.
So I'm just passing that along.
Okay. That playground equipment we replaced in 2019,
I knew it was new.
and we went through what we thought was a pretty good inclusive process for asking for feedback from some of the daycares that were in the area and what they wanted to see. So maybe it's a horse by committee, I don't know. But certainly, there was an effort made to try to address the suggestions that were brought by the daycare facilities in that area to provide some of the facilities in that playground. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm sorry to hear that we didn't hit the mark on that, because I thought we sure made an effort to do that.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
feedback that I got, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will, your other comment regarding, you know, comments regarding pickleball or other things, certainly abutting property owners that are immediately adjacent to parks, if you approach them, a lot of times they oppose park improvements because they just see it as more noise, more activity, more people next to their properties. So, but you really need to expand the net a little bit and make sure you're considering
Well,
the whole neighborhood.
but the other concern that we had even mentioned in last month's meeting was no parking there and,
Right.
you know, so,
That's the other part of it.
so, yeah.
So. Okay. With that, I appreciate the suggestions of the Park Commission. We will continue to develop the CIP, and next month we'll bring back kind of a more developed list, again, with some cost estimates so that we can start formulating and preparing to make a recommendation to the council for inclusion in this fall's capital improvement program, which would cover the years 2022 through 2026. So thank you. I appreciate your participation in the survey and
Thank you.
all the valuable input that was provided. And it's never too late to provide any other comments that you may have.
I just have one, on that wind block down at Tanner's, the Batter's Eye. Did you ever look into painting it white instead of replacing all those, or painting it blue instead of having to replace them? Is that something that is a possibility?
We could look at that, see if it's an option or if that's going to be susceptible to flaking or
Yeah,
other.
And I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, any paint is gonna, over
Right.
time, I think it'd be more of a replacement. And, you know, and then we'd have to extend it to where it goes into in the right center, because right now I think it's just left center.
Okay,
So we'd have to do that whole one open section. Would it have to go all the way out into the right and left field? I wouldn't think so. I think
Okay.
we just covered the batter's eye, the catcher's eye area.
shame to have to replace all those slats.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that would.
Well, I know,
Be a
but maybe
maintenance
we can
issue.
reuse the slats and
But
paint
every
them
other
instead.
one, alternate them or something like that.
Something to help out,
Yeah.
help the kids, but, all right.
Maybe when Jeff gets back, I'll work with him to see if he can track down a company
Yep,
to bid that out. And we'll see what we can work together on getting
Okay.
that done.
blue and white would look good.
All right,
All right, thank you.
I have one
Thank
quick
you.
question before you go.
Yes.
On one of the new projects for the volleyball court at Northdale, where would that go? Down by field 2? Is that the far one by the archery?
that was behind the back.
Actually, it was north of the parking lot is what,
North?
it would require extensive grading. There's a kind of a hill there that would have to be graded, lowered, and a retaining wall placed around the north and west side.
Okay.
But there is sufficient space to do it. It's not easy to find a location. You want to be close to the picnic shelters people that play volleyball. There's
Right.
kind of a connection between the picnic shelters and volleyball. So you need to have them fairly conveniently located.
Okay, but I was looking at last month's notes,
Yeah.
and they were talking about Field 2 is not used by OAA, but Field 1 was maybe gonna have a fence put up to segregate the baseball. How would that work with the 3 soccer fields that are there?
Well,
'Cause there are
that
currently
was just an
3.
option
Oh,
that we
okay.
talked
Right.
about. That wasn't something that was actually being planned.
There's 2 smaller soccer fields and then the big one
Yeah.
Right.
we're currently using.
That's correct. And so that was kind of the
Okay.
concern. It would impact more than just baseball. if
It
you
was
took
just
it out.
ideas that were thrown out there since ball field 2 wasn't being utilized. And it's always overgrown, that that'd be a good spot to stick something in, whether it be pickleball or volleyball.
Okay.
Instead of going and taking all that earth out of there on the north side.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Julie?
Thanks, Commissioners. I just wanted to add, as we were talking about that real quick, the Recreation Department does take all of the shelter reservations that's handled throughout our department. We do get a ton of reservations at Northdale, and they all want to play volleyball. So if that's helpful to us moving forward, there's a strong following of volleyball players that do reserve that shelter. So there's a lot of interest there.
Again, speaking on Northdale, who do we talk to about the sign that points towards Northdale? Because you can't see it coming up the street until you're right on it.
Oh,
It's
sure,
like in
okay,
3 feet,
yeah.
like everything that's out there has grown past it, so you
Okay.
can't see it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a reason they put it, 3 feet in, or
I'm not sure why.
everything's
the
just
sign
grown over the
placement-
years and it's
Yeah.
grown over that.
I'm not sure, but Jeff or Brian would, could probably look into that.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about volleyball.
There is a lot of, yes, there is.
How's that league coming? Did you get that rolling?
I thought you were directing that?
I thought you both volunteered to referee.
All right, so I do have the September update. Just want to do a quick recap on Touch a Truck. So that was held last Tuesday. That was in the Walton parking lot. We had a great turnout, over 800 participants. It was a great day, a little windy, but I'm not going to complain about that. As usual, we have our free ice cream. The Maplewood Oakdale Lions Club, they do provide concessions, and I know they did well that night as well. Special thanks to Public Works. They always do such a great job providing lots of vehicles for us, as well as PD and the fire department. So extra thanks to them. They always make it such a great community event, and obviously.
My son did not want to leave. The only
Yeah.
part he didn't like was the FedEx truck that they kept letting the kids do the horn.
Oh,
The big air
sure.
horn.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
He didn't like that.
Okay. Yeah, so thanks to them as well. Hopefully, a couple of you looked at the video that I sent out that Suburban Community Channel did. That was fun. It was kind of a quick recap of the whole event. So thanks to them for doing that as well. Farmers markets, rolling along. We're winding down, only 4 weeks left after tomorrow's event, so getting down there. The Star and Tribune stopped by while they were working on a story, and that was regarding diversity in the metro area, and they highlighted the market, so that was great to see our market showcased a little bit there. Music has returned along with local businesses and organizations, showcasing what they do as well. And so it's fall product time. There's squash, pumpkins, and lots of new fall canned goods. And they'll be arriving last week and in the last weeks to come for the market. Our artist of the month, her name is Tammy Wolf, and she is displaying her nature photography this September. So she does photos that have been featured by the Sierra Club, Minnesota Conservation Volunteer, and Birds and Bloom magazine, among many others. I included her bio in that. Has some really nice work, and she's also been selling a lot of her artwork as well, so that's great to see when the artists do show their work that people do purchase as well, so good to see that. Our first aid, CPR, and AED class, that'll be held this Thursday from 6 to 7:30. Wellness 50 Plus is partnering with the Recreation Department and the Oakdale Fire Department to offer the free class. It is ages 16 and up, and that'll be held at the Discovery Center. There are openings still, so just give us a call at the Recreation Department, and we can get you on the list if anybody's interested in signing up for that. And then lastly, we have another program through Wellness 50 Plus. It's the Be Safe Personal Protection Program. They're offering a free personal protection program Thursday, October 7th, and that'll also be at the Discovery Center. Our own Glenn here and Michelle Stark from the Oakdale PD will be discussing how to keep yourself safe in a variety of different threatening situations. And again, give us a call if you want us to get you signed up for that as well. So that is all I have. I can stand for any questions. If anyone has any comments or questions or anything they want to share.
Anyone?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Julie. All right, commissioners' comments. We'll start with Mark.
No.
None? Jen?
I did do my rankings now.
Did you want to talk about them, or?
No.
All right. Jan?
I just wanted to follow up on, last month I had mentioned for Jane Klein, who passed away and who was part of our Oakdale Parks and Recs and also the Tree Board and Master Gardener. Apparently, there is a committee working on some viable options to honor her, and that's all I have right now, but I can let you know more as I know more.
Yeah, if you could email out, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thank you.
that's it.
Steve?
No, I just, is there a way with the new police chief? Can he come and visit us one of these meetings? And be nice to talk to him and see, you know, run him down to see what he has in mind. Pull police these parks.
I'll make a note of it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually.
Other than that, I think.
All right. Glenn?
Just to add to Jan's comments, earlier this afternoon, we had the tree board meeting, and it was, motion was made to name the tree giveaway that they do in the spring, the spring planting, to be the Jane Klein Memorial tree giveaway, for the better term. So there are things moving forward, master gardeners, as well as others who are in that particular area of gardening and planting and such are going to be approaching the city council about making some type of memorial and get a agreement to that.
You know, just let me speak briefly on that. I just had this idea the other day. I was thinking about that. You know, I was just gonna ask Brian tonight. I thought maybe renaming the Acorn Award, the Jane Klein Award. That was my thought. And I don't know what you guys think of that, you know, because it's, you know, she loved gardening. No better way to, you know.
Idea?
Yeah. Well, it's in our minutes now, so it's on you now.
Yeah, but no, I can't speak for anyone else on the council, but I fully support at least
Another
the
good
idea of, you know, the decision just needs to be made exactly what,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I
you
think
know,
they're trying to narrow it down
Yeah,
and find,
and, you know, while I can't speak for them, I can't imagine anybody would be opposed to it either, so.
Right. Does the Acorn fall under the tree board then? Or what commission does that fall under?
I didn't mean to open a can of worms here, guys.
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah,
I don't know who
no,
controls,
no.
or
No,
if
but
that's
I-
just totally the city council and staff?
I don't think it's under a board.
Because with the Acorn Award, I've always thought there could be a better name, and maybe, you know, so,
Well, that'll give us some homework.
yeah. So, all right, sorry, guys.
Thanks, Brian. Or
Thanks.
Jake.
That's great.
Anything else, Glenn?
No.
That's it? All right, then we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, awesome. Thank you, guys, and have a great night.